Hi, boys and girls. Happy Monday. We did a lot of Dr. Seuss last week. It's got a little bit behind with our W, but we're going to do our handwriting page today. And then we got a couple more pages in our workbook, and then we'll start our new letter probably Wednesday. But today is Monday, and we're going to do our handwriting page. So I'm going to move this. Oh boy, you see my shadow there with the light, but I think that's okay. See if I step out of the way, that'll be all right. All right, we already worked on W's on Zoom. See if that helps if I put the light up. Oh, well, I'll just try to stay out of the way. You see my shadow, huh? Okay, so we're going to do W, and we did work on them on Zoom, and the kids did a pretty good job. So if you make a dot at the top for capital, you just have to make sure you slant down and then slant up. So it's just, you're making a V, right? You make a V, and instead of stopping, I lift up my marker, but you don't need to. You're just going to slant back down and slant up. Now the tricky part is that the V's need to be the same size. If I had my ruler here and I measured these, that might be like 3 inches and that might be 3 inches. You can't have one side really skinny and one side wide, okay? So let me do another good one. I'm gonna start up on top. I'm gonna slant down, slant back up, slant down, slant back up, okay? Now, the other thing you have to be careful of is please don't start with a straight line. Look, if I start with a straight line and then slant up, slant, then what that is, that's the way you make an M. When we make an M, we start with a straight line. And then we hop up and we slant up and straight down. But a W, all 4 sides are slanted. And the other thing I was saying, I don't have that much room left, so you don't want to make one side really wide and one side skinny. You don't want to make the first side skinny and the other side really wide. You want them to be the same. Now, once you've done your capital W's, the little ones should be easy because they're the same. You make them the same, but you start in the middle. So I'm going to start on the dotted line, right on the fence, slant down, back up, just like a V, slant down, back up. I always say the reason W I think is tricky for some kids is when you say double U, double means two, U, here's a U. So it seems like you would be putting a U and another U together. And some different fonts do round W's on the bottom, or they're curved on the bottom, but our style of writing, we do pointed like that. So again, we slant down, slant up, slant down, slant up. The things you have to be careful of, you don't want to, this is too small, of course. You don't want to start above the red line or the dotted line, because then that's going to look like a capital. You don't want to have one side really wide and one side skinny. You don't want to have one side skinny and the other side really fat. And you do not want to have, you don't want to start with a straight line. You don't want to start with a straight line. Okay, on a W, all 4 sides are slanted. So I think that's good for now. Let's come over to the table and I'll do some other W's on the handwriting page. You're gonna find the handwriting page, boys and girls, in our red folder. Okay, now, if we come back to school in April, I can't really tell you for sure yes or no, but still, fingers crossed. If we come back to school after spring vacation, you're gonna have to bring a lot of the stuff back with you because I don't want to have to recopy all of it. We're not going to be done by the time we come back. Okay, we have time to do a few more letters this month, but then we'll have to finish up at school. When we're done with all the letters, then we work on long vowels. So in the red folder, you're going to find your W handwriting page. Start with your name. All right, Mrs. J. Oh, I have time to write Mrs. Jenkins, don't I? Oh, I need to take this pencil to school and sharpen it. It's the good one. I love these, the trifold ones that they're shaped kind of like a triangle. There's 3 sides to them. They're easy to grip, but they do not fit inside a small pencil sharpener, right? The little hand ones like this. So we have one at school that works on that. My lead is getting very dull. Okay, so I would recommend to trace the 3 that are there. Okay, they're not dotted, they're not gray, but if you trace them, it just kind of gives you the hang of how wide they should be and how they all four sides should be slanted. And then there's dots here. So remember, I'm not going to go straight down. I'm going to slant like I'm going down a slide, slant up, slant back down, slant back up. And I like my W. I know mine is a little bit wider than this, but I still like it. It's okay. If you don't slant it very much, then it may end up being too skinny. I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll try a little bit. Yeah, that one might be a little bit better. Okay, this one I think might be a little bit better. It looks a little more like this one, but I'm not going to erase that. There's nothing wrong with that. It just might be a little too wide. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the top row, and I'll finish this up after I turn the video off, so you don't have to sit here and watch me. So use a pencil, please. I still see people using crayon marker. No, absolutely not. You have to use pencil when you're doing your handwriting page, okay? This is handwriting. So if I do accidentally make one like this, and then I look at it later and go, ooh, this one doesn't look as good as this one because I forgot to slant the sides, I want to be able to erase it. So please use pencil. All right, now I can go back and fix that, can't I? Okay, lowercase w, so I'm going to make them the same way, but they're going to start from the middle line, which is a dotted line, which we call the fence, right? The top line is the sky, the middle line is the fence, and the bottom line we're down on the ground. So lowercase w's touch the fence down to the bottom. They don't go underneath. All right, and then let's go ahead and turn, and oh, I will show you the poster I made. So there are a lot of things that start with W. And I did not do Willy Weasel. I'm not that great at drawing animals, and I know that I could have drawn a walrus. So there's a lot of other things that didn't make it to this poster. You do not have to choose a word that is from the poster. I'm just posting this so you get some ideas. And let me go over it, okay? So I did a slice of watermelon. Then I drew a glass of water, okay? Water is not really a color, so I just left it clear. But then I drew some water over here, you know, like water from a lake or a pond or the ocean. I should have put the whale in the water, huh? Here's a worm. Here's the whale. I did some wheat, and one reason I decided to put that there is where I grew up in Washington, that was the big crop. We grew wheat. I have some in my cupboard at school that I always show the kids. W-H-E-A-T, and they use wheat to ground into flour, and flour we use for cookies, cakes, bread, all sorts of yummy things. Okay, here's a witch, the color white. I drew a bird, but it's wing. Bird doesn't start with a W, but of course wing does. And a watch, and then I did a wheel right here, a web, a wand, a magic wand. I drew a wall, and on the wall is a window, a web. Here's the days of the week. Which one starts with W? Wednesday. I drew a wagon, and I think I got them all. So I'm going to set that poster here, and then I'm going to pick out 3 words, and you do not have to do the same ones that I did. I'm going to do white. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a crayon, and then I will write W-H-I-T-E. That spells white. Sing with me. And then on the line, I'm going to write W, lowercase, H-I-T-E. Oh, there's also like a whistle or walk. Okay, here's my first one. I'm going to do a web. So I'm going to, if you want, here, I'll show you an easier way to make a web. I'm going to make a circle, and a circle. Kind of looks like a dartboard, a bullseye. Instead of making it, you know, with scalloped edges, that's kind of hard for kindergartners to do. And then I'm going to put a big X through it. I think I'll go from this there. Here's my web. It's not a fancy one. You could put a spider in it too if you want to. I'm just going to write wa with a lowercase. We can sound this one out. Wa, eb. And should I do a whale, a worm, a witch? I think I'm going to do wagon. There's so many, it's hard to choose. I think I'm going to do a whale. Okay, so here's my whale. It's going to be jumping out of the water here. It's called breaching. Jumping out of the water, and then it'll jump back in. Here's the big fin and a fin up here. Wh, W-H-A-L-E, well. Okay, I'm going to color those, and then I will post this on the assignment page, and you guys have the 2 pages, handwriting, and this, I always call this a dictionary page. Okay, bye-bye.